This is it, boys. The final core class tier list. It's the... Now, before you say anything, no, this is not it for the Battlefield 4 tier lists. I've seen a lot of you asking for carbines, shotguns, and DMRs too, so I'll make sure to revisit those once the 2042 launch has calmed down a bit. Oh, and speaking of, early access is tomorrow, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any content. Alright, last week I asked the subscribers for some input on the sniper tier list, and I got some interesting responses. Hope says that all snipers could be A tier, as they are all balanced quite well, and I definitely agree. However, for the sake of the video, I will try and spread them out evenly across the tiers, so something will be going in. The starting weapon is the CS LR4. I would say out of all the starting weapons I've done in my tier lists so far, this one is the most solid. It has a decent fire rate for a bolt action. It's not insane, but it gets the job done. 10 rounds in the mag with pretty low bullet drop. It's just, yeah. I'll start this off at C tier. Solid stuff. The M40A5 is nice. The main appeal of this gun is its super high fire rate. You can get pretty aggressive with this gun, especially with a straight pull bolt on. And in fact, I would say with all of the snipers, you probably should take the straight pull bolt. If you're a bipod Chad though, I salute you. Anyway, the M40A5, it's really good. S tier. Ew, the Scout Elite, yucky. So when Hope mentioned before that all the snipers could be A tier, the last SW made a good point in that nope, the Scout Elite and the FYJS shouldn't be. Why? Well, they are the only two bolt actions that don't one-shot kill at any range. So yeah, even though the Scout Elite has some pretty decent stats, this holds it back a lot. A lot of wasted potential. C tier. Next, it's the SV98. It's another solid gun, decent fire rate, and average bullet drop of 9.81. Its bullet speed leaves a little bit to be desired, so it's by no means one of the top tiers. You also start with the 7x scope on this gun, and it's yeek. C tier or something. Alright, it's JNG90 time. That's just fun to say. JNG90, 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 JNG90. Lewin left a comment with a few top tier picks, and this was one of them. This weapon has the joint highest bullet velocity in the game, tied with the CS. So actually, I would consider moving that gun up. It does have a slower fire rate compared to the other rifles in the game, so it's definitely meant for longer ranges, and it does that very well. I believe this is also a 7x scope starter. So you better bloody watch yourself, JNG90, JNG90, JJJ. It's good, A tier. Next, it's my favorite sniper, the 338 Recon. Why is it my favorite? Because it's f***ing cool. Listen to this. It's also the only bullpup sniper. As for its stats, it's pretty average. So it probably should go in C tier or... Another distance gun now, the M98B. It's a big chunky boy, this one. Very similar to the JNG90. So yeah, stay at a distance. You can get all sniper elite with it. Hey look, it's the SRR61. It's good, you all know that. You can just headshot people at any range because it has no bullet drop at all. It's got 6 meters a second of gravity or something, which I'm no scientist, but that doesn't really make sense, does it? The FYS also has no bullet drop, but as I mentioned before, it's one of the no headshotty gun. This is a very interesting gun though. I actually made a video on it a few weeks ago, so check that out if you haven't seen it. But yeah, D tier. Now, it's the L115, or formerly the L96A1. Solid fire rate, and a normal 9.81 bullet drop, and this gun does get ahead of most others in bullet velocity. But I am slowly realizing that most of these guns are actually just the same. I like this gun though, A tier. So another good gun, the Gol Magnum. It fires ever so slightly quicker than the L115, but has some pretty standard bullet velocity, so you wouldn't necessarily take it for long range because the M40A5 is just better than it, and the L115 just edges it at range, so this one doesn't really fit in anywhere as much as the others. I can't put it above the L115, so it'll go B10. Yes. It's the SR338, the only semi-automatic sniper in the game. If you compare it to a lot of the DMRs, it's just not really that good. Its DPS is very low, and as a sniper, it's a E tier. Last but not least, we have the CS5. This gun actually has the highest fire rate of all the snipers. Yep, unfortunately, it has a pretty abysmal bullet velocity. A lot of wasted potential here. It does have a custom suppressor though, which is pretty cool and doesn't hinder the bullet velocity as much as some of the other suppressors. So if you want to be a sneaky boy, you can. B tier. So that wraps up the sniper tier list. Let me know what you think of the selections in the comments below, and I will see you guys very soon in the coming days for some 2042 early access. Alright, peace.